What's going on, guys? Jason Damico here, and in this video, I'm going to show you quickly and efficiently how to connect Pro Tools to OBS if you are running on a Mac. If you're not running on a Mac, you still might be able to find this video useful, though. And the primary reason why I'm making this video is because I have spent literally days, yes, days, figuring out the best way to do this, and I'm just trying to help a brother or a sister out. And if you like this video, feel free to like or subscribe. It would really help me out with this channel, and I am in the process of reaching 1,000 subscribers, so I'd love to have you partner with me on that journey. And without further ado, let me show you how to do this. So after looking at all of these different options, there's been a lot of folks talking about Black Hole, Sunflower, some of these kind of free internal interface softwares that you can download. I have both of them. And for whatever reason, in Pro Tools, I've had a hellacious time trying to get Pro Tools to talk to OBS or other capturing softwares using Black Hole or Sunflower. So that kind of led me down the rabbit hole to some other options. And to me, the best option was, after I did all my research, was going with Blue Cat's connector. And the great thing about Blue Cat is I've used some of their plugins over the years. For example, with Patchworks, I believe, was one of the ones that I've used with connecting some drum machines that were VST based into this Mac Pro Tools setup that I have, and it's worked seamlessly. It's worked out great. But I like Blue Cat a lot, and there are some other plugin options out there. I encourage you to do your research, but this was a phenomenal solution for $50. And I'm going to show you how to connect this and a couple of things that I learned along the way on how to really get the most optimal sound and quality and workflow. So what I've got going on here is Blue Cat Connector. You can download this from bluecataudio.com. And before I purchased this, I did download the free 2-week trial just to make sure that it was going to work. And it did. And then after testing for a few minutes, I just bought the whole thing for $50. I'm going to show you how to connect this. So when you go into Pro Tools, you'll, for example, go into, after you download the, you purchase and download the connector plugin, you'll come into Pro Tools. For me, I think I found it under Instrument, and there's Blue Cat's connector. I already have it set up, so I'm just going to use the window that I have set up here. And you're going to want to select local host. And you'll want to select send. So we're going to send this local host signal out to OBS. And if you have not downloaded OBS, you can download OBS for free on Google. I'll have all these links in the description box below. And what's happening here is I've got an audio input that I'm capturing, and to do that, you'll simply select Add Source, and then you can create whichever source you'd like, again, for the purposes of the video, and to not be redundant, I'm going to use what I already have here. And this audio input capture, I also just ignore this caster. I use that for obtaining desktop audio, but in this case, we're not going to look at that for this video. So you can ignore that. The most important thing is that you right-click on Audio Input Capture, and you go to Filters. And Filters is essentially like a plugin folder, but for OBS. And what happened for me was it seamlessly connected BC connector VST. And you can open in that plugin interface on OBS, and you'll want to select RCV, which I believe stands for receiving. And with localhost, this port number, and I'll show you kind of the two different windows here. Left is the send from Pro Tools. RCV is the receiving within OBS. This local host, this port number, you're going to want to make sure that your port number matches. For some reason, it's not showing up over here, but the port number that I had in Pro Tools was default set to 8080 on the Blue Cat connector. So I plugged that in over here on the receiving connector. And I plugged that number in, and everything just lined up. And I started receiving a signal. So for $50, I really believe this is the best solution. Just go ahead and make the purchase. Like I said, I spent a few days on and off of researching and just rummaging through dozens and dozens of videos out there on YouTube, as well as a bunch of forums. And for me, I at one point ended up getting a USB connection out of my headphone jack that was a stereo aux, and plugging it back into Mac and treating it like an external mic into OBS. And it worked, and it was stereo, and it was fine. But I did hear a little bit of fidelity issues, especially in the low end for some reason, oddly enough. And then there was also this slight humming noise in the background, this computer processing noise. So now we don't have any of those problems. And I'm telling you, it's money well worth your investment. So, and I'll show you one other thing before I end the video. I think some of the best settings for your audio capturing, especially if you're working in Pro Tools or you're a music producer, or you're just looking to stream or record high fidelity audio. If you go to your settings and you go to audio, or excuse me, you go to output and you go to your audio, you'll obviously want your audio bitrate to be 320. And recording, I have selected, I'm trying to see where, okay, so I found it. It was grayed out for whatever reason. It's probably because it's recording right now. This audio encoder, the default on here, which it won't let me select because we're recording right now within OBS, I think it's like an AAC format or ACC, AAC, whatever it is. And you're going to want to select ALAC 24-bit. I've done some research on this, and I've also tested it and A/B'd tested it. And to me, the ALAC 24-bit, if you Google search it, I think it's phrased as non-compromising format. So it's really not compromising or compressing anything, to my knowledge. But to my ears, it sounds the best. So that's what I've selected on audio encoder. So, you know, once you get going on this, it's pretty straightforward and it's simple, which is what I really like. It sounds great. And to give you an example of this, just kind of talking from Pro Tools to OBS via the Blue Cat connector, I'll pull everything up so you can see kind of what's happening here. And let me get that other plugin up, and we'll press play. This is Jason Damico, the Reverb Nation Opportunities Artist of the Month on the Sonic Coast. I'm an indie artist based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and here's one of my songs called Delusional. That's just a little voiceover that I was asked to record for Sonic Coast Radio. Shout out to Sonic Coast Radio for playing some of my music this month. It's a real honor and privilege to be on their platform. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you on how to connect the Blue Cat connector from Pro Tools to OBS on Mac. And again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. And I look forward to sharing more knowledge with you all in videos coming up soon. And give Blue Cat a purchase. I think they're great. And their plugins are extremely valuable. And special shout out again to Pro Tools and OBS. And we'll see you on the next video. Peace.